Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Stephen Carroll with Valerie Teitel, and we're joined by Bloomberg reporter Chloe Mele. Chloe, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with a sector then that's been booming recently, precious metals. A jump for Fresnillo. Talk us through what's happening.
Yeah, well, so Fresnillo is a silver and gold miner, and it's a really good time.
Good business to be in, yeah.
Absolutely. It's a really good time at the moment to be mining those two particular metals. So silver recently hit an all-time peak of $84 an ounce. So this might not mean much for those of us who do not operate mines, but for context, it was $28 an ounce back in January. So it's a massive jump. And as Valerie was mentioning, silver did fall today with traders taking profits. There's been quite a lot of volatility, but it's still an incredible run for the metal. And gold has also been on a pretty amazing run, with that kind of rush to gold being one of the biggest trades that we saw in 2025. And this massive rally for precious metals really has several factors. We've got investors going to those safe havens because of rising geopolitical tensions, and we also have lower borrowing costs, which are a big boost for commodities. And that could continue in 2026 because traders are betting on more rate cuts for next year. And for silver in particular, unlike gold, it also has some real-world applications. So it is being used in solar panels, in AI data centers, and in electronics. So there's perhaps even more room to run for silver and for gold as well. And that will be good for Fresnillo. As you said, it's a really good business to be in at the moment.
So the miners are having a good day. What is not having a good day seems to be like European defense sector. Rheinmetall is on a back foot again after these peace talks in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rheinmetall down, also Leonardo, Saab, Hensoldt, all of those defense names are down this morning. So it's the same as we've seen over the last few weeks, with investors kind of responding to those developments in those Ukraine peace talks. And so what has triggered that weakness today was Trump saying yesterday that he had made a lot of progress in the talks with Zelensky over that potential peace deal. And Zelensky saying that the peace framework was 90% agreed. It's important to note, though, that there has been no major breakthrough, and there still remains a few sticking points, including what is going to happen to the Donbass region, which is currently being partially occupied by Russian forces. So we are not that much closer to getting a ceasefire, but the fact that Trump and Zelensky are both kind of striking that really optimistic tone is sending those defense stocks down, as is usual when we've got kind of talks about peace progressing.
Okay, and turning to a company we don't talk about very often, International Personal Finance, IPF, involved in a buyout. Tell us more.
Yeah, so M&A doesn't really stop for Christmas. So we had some bankers working over the last week. The US-based direct lending company Basepoint Capital has announced that it is acquiring IPF this morning. So IPF is a consumer loan provider, and it operates primarily in Eastern Europe and in Mexico. And the deal is valuing the company at £543 million. So this follows a courtship over the last few months. We had an initial approach in July, another in September, and then in November, Basepoint added a dividend payment to its proposal. And so that seemed to have sweetened the deal enough that IPF accepted. And investors seem quite happy with the IPF's future as part of Basepoint. And we have got those shares up quite strongly this morning on the back of that late December M&A.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.